What is going on, everyone? We are back with the Pound / Marvel Media Podcast. I am
Pound.
He's the Pound. I'm the Slash.
You about to so let's finish it.
I was gonna say I was Slash.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
What is it?
We missed a week for something that we didn't have to miss a week for. Okay, so let me explain to you guys what happened. I got an email stating that Anchor is now fully integrated into Spotify, which means Spotify probably bought them out. So now I have to go through uploading on something called Spotify for Podcasts.
Man, and that was like a lot of episodes, man.
What they ended... Just stop talking. Because it has nothing to do with it. So I now have to upload through them. Because even if I had to re-upload everything, I have none of what we've done before.
Oh, shit.
I delete them after we're done.
Oh.
So that's not the thing. In order for it to be distributed to other sites,
right,
I have to go into each individual site, create a profile, tie it to the Spotify thing, and there's like 30 additional podcast sites to go through and do that to.
Wow.
I don't have that kind of time.
No, you don't. What the hell? That's a lot.
So, we didn't do it last week because I was going to go through and try and work on it last weekend. But between that, then and now, I still have not had the time. So we're just going to keep doing this. And at some point, if I get the time to go through and do that, we'll do it. Otherwise, for now, you're only going to find us on YouTube and Spotify.
Okay.
I absolutely hate Anchor for what they're doing. I absolutely hate Spotify for what they've done.
What they've done, right.
Both of them can go to hell.
All right, assholes. Yep. Because it sounds like they just don't care. They said, hey, you know what? We're going to just go ahead and buy you out. Forget the consequences, right?
Like, the whole point of Anchor was for them to distribute your podcast when you signed up for them across all these other places. It was like your one-stop place to do that.
Sends it everywhere.
And now, all of a sudden, you have to go through and jump through hoops just to fucking do it because Spotify wanted
profiles
to buy them
and
out.
shit. Like, that sounds complicated, man. Or, I call it like, well,
it's just
time consisting. It's not complicated because...
It's unnecessary.
Right. Unnecessary time consisting. It's like, well, there go 20 minutes of my life I ain't getting back. No, you're not. Mm-mm.
So anyways, welcome to our episode about Captain America.
Yeah.
The First Avenger, not the last.
That's it. Not the last. Okay.
Currently, the last Avenger is She-Hulk. That's the last show, right?
What? Yeah.
Yeah. She's the last Avenger so far.
Okay.
Until Wonder Man comes in.
Right. Okay. Cool. Good. I mean, yeah. Because that man.
I'm just being a goof.
Right. Hey, think what I said.
How much longer we got until fucking whatever Samuel L. Jackson's show is, Secret Wars?
Bro, I don't even know. It said like mid 2023. It said
Wasn't
like
it
June.
Supposed to be March.
I thought it was June.
I thought it was originally supposed to be this month.
Bro, speaking of that, hey, I'm actually kind of pissed off with Disney right now. They moved Loki season 2 to mid 2023 to it coming soon. Like, what?
It's probably going to push back to next year.
I'm so pissed, bro. Like, I don't...
This is what all you guys wanted.
Oh, man. I don't... Oh, guys.
You guys.
I actually wanted Loki season 2.
No. But see? Everybody wants to bitch. We're getting too much Marvel. There's too many movies. There's too many TV shows. These aren't good. That's not good. Everybody wants to bitch. And Kevin Feige straight up was like, all right.
Like, it literally said... Brother, I said, what? That can't be right.
Kevin Feige straight up said,
so
we're doing less.
When this bitch coming out? This bitch can come out in like 3 years. We could be...
People want to complain, we're doing less. He tries to give people what they want. Everybody goes, we want something different. So what does he do with Phase 4? He makes it completely different. And what does everybody do? Bitch and complain because it's not like it used to be. But you want it different. That's exactly what everybody was saying. We want something different. I give you different, and then you bitch that it's not the same.
So, but the first thing, and that's was because first it started with the Marvels, which we don't care about. Well, I mean, we care about it, but I don't care about it. It'd be fun. And then they went to the Loki, and I was like, okay, so we're just doing this, aren't we? This bitch could be like, he gonna come out and say,
and now
2024 or 2025,
and now people are like, there's too much. We're getting way too much Marvel. There's like, we can't handle 5 shows a year with 4 movies a year. That's too much Marvel. There's too much going on. So Feige was like, okay, you're right. That's too much.
And they're right. Ain't that a bitch? He's like, you're right. I have been doing too much. So I'm gonna go ahead and push that bitch. Oh my god! Like no, what? But no. And then it's like the one you actually.
All these movies. Here's the thing. All these movies that are coming about these lesser known heroes. That's what I want. I don't want another Iron Man. I don't want another Hulk. I don't want another Captain America. Right. I don't want none of that shit. I want the Wonder Mans. I want the She-Hulks. I want the Hawkeyes. I want these heroes that I don't know shit about. Because we already got the old heroes.
Right.
They're either dead or retired.
Right.
Or hopping along.
It's like Ant-Man. He's just there. He's like,
that doesn't do with Ant-Man.
Hop along. Who's still hopping along?
Never mind. Over your head.
No. No.
So.
Don't do that to me, bro. I'm so upset right now.
Hawkeye will be alright. Anyways. No, truth be told, I love Renner. I hope he's doing okay.
Yeah, hop along. Now I caught it took me a minute, people. I caught that shit.
People get what they ask for. This is what people ask for. That means everybody is going to be longer in between things. People aren't going to get the movies and the shows that they want immediately when they want them. Because let's be real, most people honestly just want more Iron Man. That's they want Robert Downey Jr. back. He's not going to truly fully come back.
He come back. You said Lex Luthor. He said he looked like Lex.
Oh, in real life?
No, he's just good. When you show me a picture, I was like, ooh.
He's going to come back as Professor X.
He would probably do it perfectly too. Like I appreciate
this. Basically, what I'm saying is, all of you fuckwads that decided, you were going to bitch about everything that Marvel was doing. Here you go.
I just didn't like, damn. Hold up, G. Ain't that a bitch?
To be fair, after our last few conversations, you haven't liked much of anything out of Phase 4.
I like Spider-Man.
You're one of the
Doctor
complainers.
Strange. I liked the Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Shang-Chi. That was it.
Eternals was the best movie of Phase 4.
At least they didn't push that bitch back. They said, we filmed that bitch. Hey, look, hey.
That's just it. Everything's been filmed.
Yeah. It's not been released yet.
Guess what, guys? You guys getting blamed in 2026.
I read that too. God damn it.
I made that up. He didn't read that.
I know I didn't read that. Nope. You know what I read? X-Men starts several months after the first X-Men, and Magneto is trying to basically be the leader of the X-Men.
No, I hope not.
Yeah,
Anyways,
Yay.
Do we have any quick news?
I think that was like the quick news. I think. Well, Ryan Coogler said, which we knew this, he's developing an animated Wakanda-focused Disney Plus series. So we know he got the...
I don't want to watch that.
Oh, okay. What's wrong with that? I'm sorry.
Unless they have a fucking computer program that can sound like Chadwick Boseman, I don't want this.
Because remember, he said he's making a live-action Wakanda and all that shit together.
I don't want that either. Chadwick's not here. Fuck that.
But they gotta talk about the people in Wakanda, man.
Actually, I would be super stoked.
I know you'd be super stoked, motherfucker.
For
Okoye. Yeah, the Dora Milaje.
I always want to call her Okami.
Okami. Yep.
I'm old and think of the Okami video game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, Okoye. I want to see her.
But anybody else you don't
I
care
want
about.
it to be her show.
Yeah, that's what it should have been. It should have been. This is Okoye or Dora Milaje. It's just been Dora Milaje.
Like Okoye, yeah.
Okoye.
That's what they can call the show, and then we just follow her life. Fuck everybody else.
What happens after she?
Actually, I would also be stoked to see M'Baku be the new.
What about M'Baku and the baby mama?
That's special. I don't remember her name.
I don't know her name either. The one that has a son.
We know Shuri's off doing whatever the fuck Shuri's doing.
Shuri said, "I'm going back for Black Panther 5. She'll come back in Black Panther 3.
Going on vacation.
And Kang gonna recruit her.
No. If the show is based off of Okoye, I'm here for it. The
live
action.
I don't get the live animated one. I don't get the anime.
But the animated one, I don't give a fuck about.
Yeah, I don't know what. And some people are happy. They're like, I can't wait for this to go down. Like, well, that's what you wanted.
Oh, so we get another Killmonger story. Anyways,
yeah. And of course, Mephisto, is reported. Special presentation stars Sacha Baron Cohen. Okay. I think that.
Who?
Sasha Bowen Cohen. That's how you say his name?
Are you making up shit?
No, Sacha Baron Cohen. Remember, he was the one that's been asking to play Mephisto this entire time.
It's a rumor. They are developing a Mephisto, a possible fit starring Sacha Baron. Who the fuck is he?
Borat.
Oh, God, no.
We've been talking about this for about a year now.
Have we?
Yes. Oh, Lord. My man's.
You done harshed my mellow.
Wait, hold up, G. Hold up, man. We've been talking about this for a whole
I don't
year.
even know who, other than, okay, so he's Borat. Does he do anything good? Because if Mephisto's anything like Borat, I'm giving up on the MCU.
No, he's gonna be serious. He's gonna be serious. No, he's not. He's like he's a straight up comedian.
Anywho, anything else good?
Somebody said nailed it. Nailed it. Like,
No.
oh Lord.
No.
No, I think that was really it. Yeah, that's it. Oh, and of course, my tragedy. Ha! To coming soon. This is the heartbreaking news.
They can't see that. It's just a bright light.
Oh shit! It's just.
Well, no, I can see it.
Oh, it's a bright.
They
They
can't see
can't.
it.
'Cause it's a bright.
It's a bright light.
This hurts me.
You'll live.
It said, "Will season 2 get delayed?" No shit. I want to stab whoever wrote this. Yes. It's saying delayed, motherfucker. Stop it. Anyway, let's get to Captain America.
All right!
Because he knows I'm the. I was like so mad that day. I'm mad. When I started, that's huh? How you gonna show me the Kang shit and then be like, "Hey, guess what, bro? Let me tell you, you may never see Loki season 2."
So, Captain America, the First Avenger,
Yeah.
isn't loading. There we go. Got an 80% certified fresh
Yeah. No, it was the start of it
on the tomato meter. It was not the start of nothing.
It was just something.
It was the start of Captain America.
That was the start of the Avengers.
No, the start of Avengers was Iron Man. Do you not remember how the post-credit scene? No, of course you don't.
No,
because you didn't even know when a post-credit
I-
scene was in fucking Captain America.
You know what?
You fucking, I'm taking your MCU card away.
Fun fact, guys. I thought when he went to the hospital, I thought that was the fucking post-credit scene. He said, "Nah, bitch, it was him boxing."
It was the commercial for Avengers was the post-credit scene.
Ain't that a bitch? But we didn't know what the commercial. Yeah. But back then when it first came out, we thought like, "Oh, this is tight." It's like, "Oh no, it's commercial, bro. It's bait and switch. Go watch the movie."
It got a 75% from the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Captain America, the First Avenger, wiki. Wiki.
Wiki.
All right, so if I come into the wiki here, First Avenger, directed by Joe Johnston.
Yep.
Screenplay written by Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely. That's a name. Based on Captain America by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. Produced by Kevin Feige. Cinematography was Shelley Johnson. Edited by Jeffrey Ford, Robert Dalva. Music by Alan Silverstein. Production company Marvel Studios.
Yep.
Distributed by Paramount Pictures. Released
Oh my god. Paramount.
July 19th, 2011 in the El Capitan Theater, but was released countrywide July 22nd, 2011. Has a runtime of 124 minutes, budget of $140 million, and it turned around and made $370.6 million.
No, it made some money. Holy shit.
Another fun thing about this movie, it is the first time I've ever enjoyed anything involving Captain America. So that was a nice
That's what I said. Like,
thing.
this is like one of the things that because he can't stand Captain America.
I cannot, not as a hero, not traditionally speaking.
You don't like poster boy.
I'm liking him more now that I'm reading the comics.
Yeah.
I still think he's a tool, but
He's just your favorite family neighborhood Captain America, man.
no, you just mixed him and Spider-Man up together. He never went by your friendly neighborhood's Captain America. But I do like, I do like Chris Evans's ass. That's America's ass.
That's America's ass. And then he's like, I do have a nice ass. Hell yeah.
I could do this all day.
Oh man, that him singing.
Anyways,
Christ.
so that's that. There's a cast of Chris Evans as Steve / Captain America. One of my favorite actors of all time, Tommy Lee Jones as Chester Phillips.
Yeah.
Colonel Chester Phillips. Hugo Weaving as Johann Schmidt / Red Skull. Mm-hmm. This is the only time he would play that role because he bitched out and let somebody else take him over.
Right.
I won't say he bitched out. I don't know what
no,
the reason
I think
why.
he just didn't want to do it.
He probably just didn't. It's fine. It's fine. As long as he doesn't turn around and complain like other people that left the MCU.
And then still keep complaining.
Haley Atwell, who this is her first time showing up as
Peggy
Carter, Margaret Peggy Carter. She reprises that role later in a few things. Both a TV show and a movie where she dies.
That's not funny.
It is. It is. Sebastian Stan as James Bucky Barnes. James Buchanan.
That is the Winter Soldier.
He later returns as the Winter Soldier and then the White Tiger or some shit like that.
Yeah,
what did they call
the White Wolf that Black Panther gave him.
I don't know why I said White Tiger.
You think Power Rangers?
Power Rangers. It's the White Tiger sword.
RP,
That's why I did that.
RP just did Frank. The Tiger Sword! Tiger Sword!
Saba was amazing.
Best
sidekick ever.
Sidekick ever.
Best sidekick ever. Saba.
I saw it. I got. That is awesome. That beats out the flute, even though the flute is gangster.
I liked the flute because it was a flute, and he was like,
right, but Saba was actually talking. Ain't that a bitch? I like Saba. Sorry.
Anyways. Saba might have been cooler than the Power Ranger.
And he could have carried the whole entire... I will help you. You motherfucker.
Kid, rest in peace, Tommy. We love you.
Oh, yeah. Rest in peace. Just did Frank. Hell yeah. I'll go.
Dominic Cooper played Howard Stark.
Which Howard Stark was played by two people, right?
He was. Yeah. Toby Jones as Arnim Zola, which he reprises that role a few times in...
the series...
What If?
Yeah, What If... Was he
and then I think it's his voice that shows up
again.
It's
in Winter Soldier.
In Winter Soldier.
I thought he was also in the series though too, but you know.
He might have been. I'm not sure.
Let's remember set back in that time, but okay.
Also, I'm pretty sure his voice shows up somewhere, or he might show up somewhere in. Maybe it's Winter Soldier, which is the one that has no.
He's supposed to be.
Does his voice or something show up in Age of Ultron? Because I can't remember if he was a part of the group that was training or dealing with the twins, Wanda and Pietro.
No, it wasn't him.
It wasn't him.
No, it was another person. No, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Anyways,
but yeah,
Neil McDougall. Actually, it's McDonough.
That's interesting.
Is another great actor, by the way.
No.
I just don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Holy hell.
McDonough.
Right.
He plays. Basically, in almost every movie, a villain, except for this one.
Right.
He's Dum Dum Dugan in this one. Timothy
Dugan.
Dum Dum Dugan. Great actor, though. Great actor. He does play a villain a lot.
Right. This is the only time they said, "Hey, just play this character."
Wasn't he the villain in SWAT?
Yes, he was. In fact, they had every freaking Avengers in that movie too.
It's a great movie.
Yes, it was. It's a long ass great movie though.
Derek Luke as Gabe Jones.
Yep.
And then Stanley Tucci as Abraham Erskine. Samuel L. Jackson shows up as Nick Fury at the end, as well as the lady that plays Maria Hill.
Oh.
She was in one of the cars. I can't remember right off the top of my head. But yeah, there's a bunch of other people involved as well throughout the movie at some point. But we will pass on with that.
All right.
Now, with that being said, I went over the cast now to go ahead and say it here. This was the start. Not even the start. This was the continuation of a long line of what I consider to be expert casting.
Yeah.
There is not one person that ever was in a role that I did not like them in. I absolutely love Tommy Lee Jones as the hard-ass colonel.
Well, he really played that well, actually.
He really made me dislike him, but then he also earned my liking back, not as an actor, as a character. Later, when he finally realized what Steve was capable of.
Right, because he made him seem like a less of a man. Damn. Like, I get it, though. He's supposed to play that character. It's like, all I got was this, and they gave me this person. I'm like, damn. Like, he's your guy, bro.
Okay. So, and now going into the story of all this, and I'm going to tell you guys now, we're not even going to mention too much of the special effects. It looks good.
No, yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah.
There's not much. There's one part in the movie I will say it's one of the Red Skull moments. It's the part where
he takes his mask off.
No, he's sitting in the bomber as Cap is inside the missile, curving back around, and Cap looks into the window, and you see Red Skull sitting in his chair.
Yeah.
And he's looking around, but you can totally tell the bottom of his face is CGI. It looks so. It does look kind of bad there, but over and above all,
right,
still looks pretty good. Still looks pretty good. I want to go, before we go into the story, I want you guys to understand. When I first started watching the MCU, I started with the Avengers. Because I didn't give a fuck about Iron Man. I didn't give a fuck about Captain America. I didn't give a fuck about Thor. I didn't care. None of them as characters. Hawkeye and Black Widow, whatever. I hated them. I didn't care.
You said a friend gave it to you.
I at the time, I wouldn't even say I was necessarily a Marvel fan. I was more of a Marvel than a DC fan.
Right, because, yeah.
But to be real, the superheroes I cared about were Spider-Man,
of course,
Batman,
of course, right,
and the X-Men.
Oh, okay, yep.
That was it.
That was it. Yeah, but I knew Spider-Man and Batman were like your top.
My two biggest, most hated superheroes of all time, one of them still there. That being Superman, can go to hell. And Captain America.
Scott was just, like I said, well, they both represent the goody two.
They are the goody two shoes Boy Scout,
right?
Scouts honor superheroes, and I hate it. I hate that they don't deal with moral conflict. Everything they do is morally correct. And they don't struggle with it.
Right? All that power. They're like, I am a straight A student. It's like, really? No bad grades, huh? Okay. Damn.
Like, even during the war, Cap has no problem killing people. It's a war.
Right.
You see him use a gun several times in this movie. Pop, pop, as he's walking in with his shield, shooting.
Right.
He has no problem with it. But Spider-Man can't kill Green Goblin because of some sort of fucking superiority complex?
No, that's true. Or even the Joker, for that matter. I mean, with Batman, like, you can't do it.
But it makes those stories interesting.
Right.
Because you think of Batman. If the very first time Batman meets Joker, or the very first time Spider-Man meets Green Goblin, if either of them were to kill their arch nemesis, in the end, how many lives would they have saved?
A lot. In fact, other superheroes even blown out. Like, they played, it's like,
so
if you had killed that person.
By not killing their arch nemesis,
right.
Are they not secondhand murdering hundreds, thousands of people? Because they didn't take care of what they should have?
At the beginning of this whole situation.
But do they have the right to be judge, jury, executioner? Is the other problem with that. But during the war, Cap ain't give a shit. I'm fighting for my country.
Now that I rewatched it, I've noticed, he's shooting people. Now, we don't know where he could be, like, he could just be wounding them, but we don't know. Oh, he's doing kill shots.
No.
He could be wounding them, man.
No.
No, he's like, no, headshots only.
No, that's like watching Batman vs Superman and being like, oh yeah, that person Batman slammed into the wall, he's alive. No, the fuck he's not.
Or the car situation that flipped over and exploded. Like, they're alive. No, they completely survived that. No. You're right through that bitch.
Anyways, but this is the first time Cap has ever been painted in a light for me. So I watched. Okay, let me get back to my story.
No, go ahead.
I watched the Avengers because somebody gives it to me. Gives me a burnt copy of it. And I wasn't going to watch it. I put it off for months. I had a day off work. Decided I would go ahead and throw it in my Xbox. Threw it in my Xbox. Watched the movie. Loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? I was like, and you're going to tell me that it has other stories that led up to this story?
Led up to this story.
Like, are there... Because when I was younger, one of the things I was super excited about was there were talks that they were building up an animated universe. Right. That had... most of them were on Fox, because you had Spider-Man, You had the X-Men, and they crossed over. They were supposed to be doing a Captain America. They did an Iron Man and a Silver Surfer and a Hulk show that also were all in the same universe. They were getting ready to
That's crazy that you told me
primed
that.
to start doing Captain America. But for whatever reason, they didn't go that route. For whatever reason. But at the time, even though I wasn't big fans of all the heroes that were being involved, because again, Hulk, whatever.
Right.
I was still excited. I was like, they're doing a huge universe.
Right, huge universe. Wow. And that is crazy that when you said that, it's like, dang, they were going to do that in the 90s? Wow.
But it fell through. For whatever reason, fell through. And then I was like, well, I guess that's not going to happen.
Right.
So, fast forward to, 2000, mid 2011, late 2011, whenever this was all going on. I watch Avengers, and I'm like, so there's movies that lead up to this? They're telling a story?
Mm-hmm.
So I go back, and I watch them in order. I watch Iron Man 1, Captain America, Thor. I don't think I had watched the Incredible Hulk movie until after.
Okay.
Because
that actually was like the very first movie that came out. Second?
It came out after Iron Man.
Oh, okay.
Came out after Iron Man.
Okay.
So yeah.
But yeah, you watched in order. I was like,
I went through and started watching them, and I was like, these are really good. And I remember even going into Captain America being like, okay, I'm probably not going to like this, but I want the story. But I want the story.
Right.
And sure enough, by the time I got done with this movie, I was like, this is really fucking good.
Right. Really, yeah.
And they painted somebody who is struggling to find who he really is. He knows what he wants. He wants to help his country. The movie starts, he wants to help his country. But he's not fit enough. He's not big enough.
I like how it starts out like that, too.
He looks like a bobblehead. And
he steps on it like that little picture thing, and his head doesn't even hit the thing to show like he's a soldier. That's crazy.
And then he runs into the doctor.
Yeah.
Who sees a fight in this kid that nobody else has. And approaches Colonel, what the fuck ever his name is, Tommy Lee Jones.
Right, Tommy Jones' character.
Approaches Tommy Lee Jones' character and is like, hey, I have this kid I want to put into the program.
And he looks at him like, that's a bobblehead.
And he's like, nah.
That's a bobblehead.
He's a toothpick.
He's a toothpick.
He ain't gonna do shit.
Oh, shit.
But what happens?
He pulls the grenade situation.
A couple things.
Oh, a couple things, yeah, but, yeah.
He's trying his hardest and failing in terms of physical prowess.
He kicked that flag down. He get that one.
That's not even physical prowess.
No, he just... Yeah.
That didn't take strength.
Nope, he just...
They said whoever the first person to get the flag down can sit in the back of the truck.
Right.
And what's he do? Everybody else tries to climb.
They try to use the physical, and he just went...
And he walks up, he pulls the pin out, it flips over, he grabs the flag, and gets in the back of the truck. He just outsmarted all of them.
All of them. Rogers, get it. Nah, bro, I got this. And there you go.
And then the doctor asks him, and he says, he's the one I want.
Right.
And Tommy Lee Jones goes, no, watch this.
Bro.
Pulls a pin out of the grenade, throws the grenade. And everybody runs. And what's Rogers do?
Dives.
Sacrifices himself.
I ain't gonna lie, that is crazy that he just do that, man.
Sacrifices himself. Now it's a dummy grenade. Nothing actually happens. But that right there was the proof that Doctor wanted to show. He's like, he's not here for himself. He's here for others. He's here for his squad, and he's here for everybody else.
Is this a test? Yeah, it was, man.
So he goes on to become Captain America. The Doctor dies in the process.
Which is crazy. I didn't think that was going to happen. When I first saw it, my first reaction, I said, they're going to kill this Doctor.
Right.
In the beginning.
The Doctor dies in the process. He chases down the guy that did it. The guy kills himself. But it's his first time getting to use his powers, and it's funny watching him, like, he runs and doesn't know how to judge his turns, so he flies into windows as he turns corners. Sorry, I didn't mean to smack the mic, y'all. Flies into other corners and does the,
because he's doing like a wind sprint. He's running faster than a damn car.
He can't control himself yet, and it's great. And you kind of see the resemblance of he's going to be using a shield at some point. He rips that car door off, and he's rocking around with the car door. He likes to use a shield, whatever. That's cool. But yeah, so he stops the guy. The guy kills himself. And then Steve, at that point, gets stuck. Because Tommy Lee Jones didn't want to risk all this money
Well, because he wanted more soldiers, right?
Well, yeah. Originally, they wanted more soldiers.
He wanted more soldiers, right. He wanted more soldiers.
But he didn't. But since the doctor's gone, they have no way to talk about
Ain't that crazy? The one that knew how to make the formula just died. That's crazy.
Right. But yeah, so he didn't want the one thing that they had to disappear.
Right.
So he puts him into basically trying to sell bonds.
He's like, if you want to punch, I'm going to punch Adolf Hitler in the face. And he just does it 50,000 times. I would hate
That's
that.
actually a call out to the original Captain America comic series.
Okay.
When he actually fights Hitler in the comics.
Okay. But I think it's kind of funny because you can just tell his whole demeanor is like, like, he gotta read. He's actually just reading.
At first, he doesn't like doing it.
No. Well, no, at first I thought he liked it.
No. At first, he did not.
Okay.
He went out and he would just read it. He'd read
he
it
was
all
just
day.
reading like, yeah.
But then he had it memorized and he started having fun with it.
Right. Yeah. They were cheering him on.
Most of us think that this is what She-Hulk and Hulk were talking about in this little era here of people he might have gotten it on with. Maybe one of the ladies that were dancing in the USO or whatever. My prediction.
Right. He said, so they had sex.
Captain America.
Oh,
but no.
God.
So he starts to get into it, and all of a sudden he starts to find that love for doing what he's doing again. He's doing something good for the country. He's getting people to spend money on weapons and stuff for the soldiers, to be able to go out and fight.
That was the whole point, right?
That was his whole goal.
Until
at this point,
right?
And then he finally gets to the point where he's bored. He doesn't want to do this. He knows he's meant for something better, and he's drawing little doodles in his book. And Peggy talks some sense into him. Peggy's like, "Hey, you're meant for more than this.
Right.
This is not what you were turned into this
like a
for.
Circus. Like
you're not a circus clown.
Yeah, it's circus clown. I mean, it's like a sideshow, right?
And then all of a sudden,
out of nowhere,
she tells him, Troop 107th Division or whatever they call it has been captured, and Cap gets upset and runs. And
we don't know why he's upset for it.
Come to find out, that's the troop that Bucky's in.
Wow. Yeah.
And even Colonel Colonel Jones, as I'm going to call him, even Colonel Jones tells him, "Yeah, we presume he's dead."
And they said that not even that, they said all of them are dead. They said, and then going to even go get him is a suicide mission. And I'm like, so you ain't going to even like attempt that bitch, all right?
So
damn.
Peggy gets Howard, and they carry Cap over the lines. There's this whole funny thing that goes on about them fonduing. It's supposed to be an intimate reference because Cap is an idiot.
He said, "You guys are fonduing each other."
He's like, "You guys, fondue?" He's an idiot. At this point.
He's an idiot, but we love the idiot, man.
Right.
Because he's about to do something really stupid right now.
But what does he do? He gets dropped off.
Right, because they couldn't land. He just jumps.
And he goes in single-handedly.
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, and destroys everything.
Frees the prisoners. Surprises Bucky, who is like, "Yo."
Because Bucky was like laid out.
Last time I seen you,
right.
I was bigger than you. What happened?
Right. He was simple too. Oh,
but he frees all of them, and they get him out of there. And we get to a scene where Tommy Lee Jones is berating Agent Carter, Peggy Carter,
right?
Because she told him what she did,
right?
Because he thought Steve was dead. They were writing the letter to tell Steve's family that Steve had died,
right?
And then all of a sudden, you see soldiers running off in the background,
right? They're like, "Hey, look at this!" Like they're running to him,
and here comes Cap with every soldier from that division being brought home.
Right. Nobody
by himself.
I don't think nobody died in that. Yeah.
At least not that we've seen.
Well, at least not that we've seen. I'm thinking when I saw this, I think he brought.
But they even stole some. They even stole some of the tanks.
Yeah, and some of the weapons that they had too. They stole some of the rest of those weapons. He was super pissed. He had self-destruct the whole entire, the whole building. Yeah.
Now obviously there's a lot going on with like Red Skull in the background. You start learning some things about him. He's basically just trying to control everything for Hydra.
Well, he was trying to be like a second Adolf Hitler, but better.
Right.
So I was like, oh, okay.
They go on. there's like some back and forth between Peggy. There's a moment where Steve gets pulled in for a kiss by one lady, and Peggy walks in on it. And Steve wasn't like trying.
No,
to
he
do
wasn't
anything.
like trying to like force his way. She came on him actually.
And Steve's legit like, yo, it's not what you think it is.
Right. In fact, he pushed her off.
And what's funny is he's like, hey, what about the shield? And Peggy pulls out a gun.
Money shot.
4 or 5 shots.
4 or 5 shots.
Bounce right off the shield. She's like,
Vibranium.
it works.
Right.
So that's where he gets his first shield. And then they start going through and busting down all these other camps.
Right, basically a montage.
That they know where people are. So then they get to this big one. And it's a train that they've got to land on. And their goal is to basically stop this train from getting to its destination. And to steal, obviously, whatever.
Right, it was all Hydra stuff, yeah.
It was all Hydra stuff. They get on the train. They make their way in, and then this big, almost robotic suited motherfucker.
Yeah, looking like this, like
comes
like this.
Comes on the train, blasts
a hole
in the side of the train, but at the same time it pushes Bucky out the side of the train, and he's
like, what?
And he's hanging on by a thread.
I've never read the comics at all. I'm like, this is crazy.
Steve, well, none of this is actually in the comics like this.
No, I mean, this is when like First Avenger. I know what you're saying, but like, when I was like, yo, what?
But Steve takes out the guy.
Right, of course.
And then when he goes out to save Bucky, Bucky falls.
This sounds like I didn't know about anything.
This is my first moment
right.
of a loophole, or not a loophole, a plot hole that irritates me.
Really? Oh, you know
but
what?
only because I know of what happens. Here's where my plot hole comes. Okay? He stopped the robot dude. He wasn't even the one that stops the conductor. One of the other guys that's on the train does.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we're supposed to stop the conductor.
We know Steve can jump from planes without a parachute. We've seen it happen.
Yeah. So, okay.
Why did he not jump off that train?
Jump off train and just go get him.
And go get Bucky.
Right.
He saw where he landed, or where he was headed.
He should have just grabbed
He honestly could have just jumped right after him.
Yeah, just
as soon as Bucky let go, he could have lunged and went after him.
Yeah, he has a parachute.
Even if he doesn't, he don't need it.
Yeah, he don't need it because he would have just I don't know why he didn't. I don't know. Maybe Because
if you remember,
for dramatic effect.
Do you remember when Cap jumped out of the plane when him and Tony were arguing?
Right. Yeah.
When he was going after Thor.
Just jumped. Yeah.
He just jumped the fuck out.
He said, "I believe in one God, man," and just jumped by. Like, okay, huh?
You were talking about earlier in this movie. I'm talking about in Avengers because he had a parachute for that.
Oh, that was like Winter Soldier where he just jumped out to play without no parachute.
Yeah, but when you're talking about I believe in one God, that's what he says to Peggy when he falls out of this.
No, he said to Black Widow.
Did he say to Black Widow?
Yeah, he said to Black Widow. Because he said that, she's like, Thor, they're basically God. Or he's like, they're basically God. He said, man, I believe one God, man. And he just jumped. I'm saying, like, that's what he did, but the one without the parachute was Winter Soldier. I always remember that because they said, did he just jump out of a parachute? Yes, he did. I said, okay, so he could have done it.
So we know he can.
We know he can do it.
We could have prevented this whole Winter Soldier shit.
Oh, man, we would never have that movie.
If he had just jumped out that fucking plane. Or train.
He didn't want to jump. But the writers want to make it dramatic. So it's like, look, he's looking like, nah, bro. Because we see you jump before. You done jumped here. You jumped to your mom's closet.
I watched this man in the process of saving Bucky jump over a 32-foot gap.
Oh, the fire.
Of fire. No problem.
Yep. I was saying, let's go back to the movie, right, where he jumped that gap.
He'd have been all right.
In fact, they both would have been all right.
Anyways.
And then they come to find out, oh, well, dang, we get to Winter Soldier. Yeah, it could get picked up by Hydra people anyway, so you could have got a ride from them motherfuckers. But they want to. I think they want to make it dramatic that you lost.
I get it.
You lost Bucky, and that's what happened.
Plot holes.
And that's why. And before we even read the comics or knew any of this stuff, I ain't gonna lie. First, like I said, initial watching this first time in 2011, I was like, "Oh, he dead." He did. That's what I said. I said that in the theater. He didn't make it. Coach, roll credits. Roll it. He didn't make it.
We find out, because that's when after all this happens, he talks with Peggy. That's when we find out he can't get drunk, no matter how much alcohol he drinks.
Bro, he was depressed. Oh,
he wants to drink the pain away and can't.
Can't, because the serum is just kicking in. I think I would like that. Have a serum that's like, ha, I got super serum. I can drink all this shit. I'll never get drunk.
And he goes on the mission that's supposed to stop Red Skull.
Right, because he done got all the stuff and everything.
Runs solo
Right.
into the middle of a Hydra camp, takes out a bunch of people.
Oh, yeah, he was that. He was, yeah. He was like, I'm ready to solo double it,
until he gets surrounded by hundreds of Hydra.
Right.
He is then captured,
Right.
taken into the base to speak with the Red Skull. During a conversation with the Red Skull, Dum Dum and the rest of the crew come through the window.
Yeah, they actually come and help him.
And the fight begins.
Oh, yeah,
Red Skull gets into his V-Wing or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, it's a weird little thing.
It's a huge bomber.
Huge bomber, like a stealth bomber.
And Cap, Peggy and Colonel Jones get him down the runway to jump onto the plane and almost kill themselves in the process.
They almost fell off that thing. I was like, roll credits on both of their lives.
Right.
Y'all don't got with the soldier serum.
He gets on the bomber. Mm-hmm. He gets up there. It's full of individual bomber bombs.
Right.
That are solo piloted, that are going to be basically kamikaze mission enemies.
Right.
Like
these soldiers are literally going off to basically die. Yeah.
But to kill a lot of other people.
Kill a lot of other people.
Cap stops them, except for one. The one in the New York one gets out.
Right.
He jumps onto that as it's falling out.
Right.
He stops it, flies it back around.
Man, what type of
circles
gangster shit?
around.
I ain't gonna lie, that was some gangster shit he was doing, bro.
Into the back of the bomber.
Hey, now that it's playing on plot armor, he's like, that thing is going, I'm gonna grab that motherfucker and then turn that bitch back around.
Gets up to Red Skull, and after a fight, does defeat Red Skull.
Of course, yeah.
If I remember correctly, Red Skull disappears.
Yeah, the test.
He touches the Tesseract.
The whole power they were using is the Tesseract.
He Vops out of there.
Right, which I thought he died too when
he comes back, portrayed by a different actor in Infinity War.
Yep,
Endgame. Not Infinity War.
Yeah, he's Infinity War. He's in both.
Was he Infinity War?
Yeah.
When Thanos goes
to Volmir.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Volmir. Yeah.
But
I thought he died when I first saw it. Oh, he's dead too. So we done. Wow.
Right.
Roll credits.
But
I didn't know how this was going to end, to be honest, when I initially saw it, man.
Cap is on a bomber that's fallen.
Cause I was like, okay.
And he has to crash it.
And it's so messed up because we having this conversation.
And he has this conversation with Peggy.
One last conversation.
And he says, I'm going to have to take a rain check on that dance. And she knows what this means. So she's crying. He's not.
Oh no, he already.
He's seeing his death come. He's like, here we go.
He already accepted it. I gotta land. He said, I gotta land the plane. I land the bomber. I said, bitch, land it, bitch. You about to crash that motherfucker.
Has his last conversation with Peggy. She says that she's gonna be at a dance next weekend. Make sure you're on time. Right. And mid sentence, he cuts out.
Right, he's like, oh, that point.
I'll see you on the.
I see you on the. I ain't gonna lie. I watched that in theaters. I said, so that's how we gonna end it? We just gonna end it like that? He just dies.
So then the credits roll.
Yeah.
Lies! The credits don't roll, Ralph.
Alright, please stop playing my emotions, Dave. Please. I want you to stop. That's okay. I'm gonna pull out something. You know what, guys? I forgot. Now I remember. I picked this time, motherfucker. We're gonna pick
So Cap wakes up.
We're gonna pick Superhero Squad season 2.
And he's in a room.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like an old hospital.
And they hell for that. Hey, all of them are hell for even doing this.
And they've got an old baseball from the 60s baseball game on the radio.
Yeah.
And the doctor walks in. And she says, well, good morning, Steve. You've been out for a while. And he's like, so what's going on here? And she's like, well, what do you mean? And he says,
he said he was at that game.
The game on the radio. He's like, I was at that game. And she's like pushing the help button.
She's literally clicking the button like that, like at the gas station.
Shit ain't right here. We see a few soldiers walk in, and then we see the other side of the wall, and then they get thrown through it.
Oh man, he throws them right through it. Wow, really inconvenience.
He busts out, basically makes it out into the streets of New York. He's in the middle of Times Square.
And it's all updated. And oh my god.
And Colonel Fury, Maria Hill, and a bunch of shields swarm around him, and he's like, "Yo, Steve, calm down, Captain Rogers. I need you to calm down." He says, "You've been asleep for a long time. You've been asleep for 70 years." And Cap is upset, not mad, but upset. He looks around, and he's like, "I missed a dance. I was supposed to meet somebody to dance."
What a depressing ending, actually. I'm sorry. That's actually depressing, actually. Like, damn. Like, for the whole thing, it's just depressing, actually.
And then pretty much at that point, you know, Colonel Fury is like, "Well, I got some catching up for you to do."
Right.
So at this point, we go to finally get to the credits. You know, the credits you thought came before this. And then we get, like, one of the worst post-credits. It was great for the time.
Yeah, at the time, because we didn't know... I'm gonna be blunt. All of us didn't know they were going to the Avengers, bro. They didn't know they were going to the Avengers like that, man.
Right. But it is a commercial for the Avengers.
Well, yeah,
You see, it's actually a scene from the
It
Avengers.
is the box. Well, the whole thing to the box.
He's boxing the thing, and you know, Fury comes in and says, "Hey, Cap, I got a mission for you," and he's like, "No, you want to send me back out to the field?"
Right.
And then they do the whole commercial for the Avengers, and it ends with it being like the Avengers coming soon. Or March 2000, whatever.
It was like 2012, yeah.
But that was the end of the movie. A little disappointing on the post-credit scene, I will admit. I at least prefer some sort of story to be revealed in terms of...
I mean, in a way, that kind of was a story revealed, in a way.
But it was here's the next movie reveal. I don't like commercials. It's like when we went and seen...
was it Spider-Man? Because they did a commercial for Doctor
Strange. Was it Spider-Man that ended with the Doctor Strange?
Yep. See, I mean, at the time, now that we've seen it, right.
Even during that, I had said, during the review of that, I don't like that as the post-credit scene.
I mean, now, yes, that was a bad call anyway. That's why I said it was kind of a little bit different from 2011. It was like, oh, so obviously you're trying to put him back into the mission or whatever you're trying to do. And then that's when we heard, oh, they're making Avengers, and that's when we're like, oh, okay. But I get what you're saying. Now watching now, it's like, oh no, that's fucking stupid. Like, why would they? But it's supposed to get people in seats, man. Like, gotta get people theaters, man. You gotta get them in the seats somehow.
But other than that,
it's still a good movie.
It's a solid movie. It made me have a new appreciation for Captain America as a character, especially Chris Evans' portrayal, and of course, his character evolves as time goes on, as does so many others.
Right, it's like they evolve right with him. It's kind of crazy, man.
So yes, I love this movie. So with that, Ralph, if you got to give it a score, what do you give it? Out of 10.
I give it a 9.
Give it a 9?
Yeah, no. What about you?
I am also going to give it a 9.
Yeah, it's.
No.
I ain't glad though. That Winter Soldier might get a 10, bro.
I'm giving it an 8.
Okay.
I'm giving it an 8.
Okay.
Because I also don't think Winter Soldier is a perfect movie, but I do think it is better than Captain America. So I need some space.
Look, that's why he put, because you know damn well we pulled that bitch. I'm gonna tell you right now, that bitch gonna get a 10. I'm glad that is, because I'm telling you that whole elevator scene.
Ralph bases scores off of one scenes in movies.
Hey, but that's amazing. But that scene's cold though. Everybody want to get out? Nope. Just go through a whole fist fight. You go 1v50 these bitches. All right, cool. Ass whoopings. Everybody's getting ass whoopings.
I'm gonna give it an 8. So you gave it a 9.
Yeah.
So that's 17 divided by 2. That's 8.5. So that balances out to 9. So.
It's okay. I think I might give like Winter Soldier like a 7 or an 8 though. I lied. Civil War, like a 7 or an 8. All because they should have just waited for Spider-Man, but that was a good movie too. But there's some of Winter Soldier is.
So if we switch to this screen here, a 9 puts Captain America up there with Quantumania, and all these other movies that we have at A. Whoop whoop! It's a good movie. It deserves to be at an A. It is a very
and a good introduction to him.
Solid movie. I feel like we have a lot of B's. We're starting to get a lot of A's. We've only got like 2 S's, and we've got 1 F.
What was left was
Punisher Warzone.
Punisher Warzone.
Fuck that movie.
And the S's are they're both Spider-Man movies, right?
Spider-Man
of
2
course.
and Spider-Man No Way Home.
Of course. That's it.
All right, Ralphus.
All right.
This is your moment. Your first time pulling out of.
How do you open this thing?
I don't remember. There
Oh,
we go.
like that? Okay.
Your first time pulling out of the head of Ant-Man. You get to be the reason we either love this week or start a path down terror and torture.
That's exactly what the fuck is about to happen, too.
So, Ralphus, reach in. Pull your destiny, sir.
I'll go with the first thing.
Fake drum roll.
Yeah.
I don't want to look at it. Will we like it?
Yes! Yes! How did I do that? 10! All day! All day! All day!
Somehow,
That's a 10. That's a 10. I don't care. I
Somehow-
don't even need to watch it. Nope.
this man
Fucking A.
seriously just pulled Captain America Winter Soldier.
That's a 10.
After talking about
That's a 10. Matter of fact, nope. I changed my score. 8. That's going to be a 10. That's a 10 all day. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I don't give a shit. I'm going home now. I had to stand up on that one. That's a 10. Mm-hmm. I'm good at what I do, man. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch that.
He pulled Ralph. You didn't have to watch this one, and you still fucked up.
You know what? Hey, I'm not gonna fuck about this one though. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I stood up for that one. Let's go.
All right. So
You might as well rank the bitch now.
Captain America Winter Soldier is the next movie
Okay,
we're going to be
wait,
talking about.
watch
I
that.
can't believe we're getting back-to-back Cap movies.
Boom. I'm gonna play the fucking lottery next. Let's go. At least get $5 from it.
It's a good movie.
It is. It really is, man.
It's not a great movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah, whatever. For you.
All right. So with that being said,
We get introduced to a Falcon out this bitch. Scarlett Johansson was actually something. That beginning, I ain't gonna lie, bro.
no, the fuck she wasn't.
Yo, what?
No.
No, she was.
She's terrible in this. She doesn't start getting good until a movie or two after this.
No, she was actually good in this movie, bro. What are you on about?
Do you realize? Do you not remember how shitty her fight scenes were on that boat?
I thought they were kind of cool.
Trash.
Only you. What?
Trash.
Look, see, we're gonna have conflict already.
Ow! I just poked myself in the
God,
eye.
because you are hell.
The fight.
Yep.
The fight with Cap and Batroc,
Batroc,
whatever the
yep.
fuck his name is. That was dope. Kind of.
Yeah. That Samuel L. Jackson scene too,
I do like that one.
all the way through.
And I do like that Falcon's introduced here, but this is before he becomes a good character.
Right.
He's introduced. He's all right. I definitely love him way more now than I
Yeah.
did back then. But yeah, his character starts, so it's cool seeing the Falcon show up.
I ain't gonna lie though. That is disrespectful. That whole Scarlett Johansson boat scene was cold, and the way she had that walk at the end, I said, "Go ahead, Colin Jost.
No,
Pick the good
so
one, motherfucker."
I'm trying to think. She first shows up in Iron Man,
Iron Man 2. Yep.
and she has
Her fight scene in Iron Man 2, I didn't really like.
No, her fight scene in Iron Man 2 is actually the one that is absolute trash. It is the worst
Yeah.
fight scene she has, and it's because it was before she started training.
Right.
She has a really cool moment in Avengers. I don't think that her fighting is necessarily great in Avengers, but I do love her first moment in Avengers when she's tied up in the chair and she's being interviewed.
Oh yeah. And Coulson calls and be like, we said a B-32 jet at the door. Put her on the phone.
Right.
So stop playing.
And you know that part's good. And her fighting is better in this
Right.
than even
That's when
Avengers.
she fights the Winter Soldier. Like actually, yeah. That's pretty cool. When it's just the crossbones, or before it becomes crossbones. So
It's a good movie though. I'm excited for it. Like I said, here's my thing. I was never as big a fan for Winter Soldier as everybody else was.
That's fine.
It doesn't feel like a superhero movie to me.
Yeah, that's fine.
It feels more like just two military people going at it.
I would say like a spy movie. But...
which is fine. But I do prefer the more superhero-feeling superhero movies in terms of...
Which
like
you kind of get that in Civil War.
The Iron Man... Well, Civil War because it's all superheroes just going at it.
Right.
But,
yeah.
But no, it's a good movie.
It's just not... Okay. And that's fine. That's completely fine.
I'm still excited for it. Again.
Yeah. Magic hands, bro. Don't fuck with me on that, bro. I'm gonna pull Avengers next. Let's go.
Okay.
He said, "No, you wait, motherfucker."
And make sure it's not in there.
Look at me like.
I don't know how the fuck you pulled this shit.
Oh man, that's a 10. I'm already gonna let you know I'm not changing my shit either. He can change it, but I'm already letting you know I'm not changing my shit. Let's go.
No, here's the thing. What I can promise you is I will not rate it lower than what I've already got Captain America rated.
Well, yeah. You said you wanted to. Right.
I do think Winter Soldier is better than the First Avenger.
Right. Surprisingly enough, though, Civil War was okay. I thought so personally. I thought it was okay. Like
Civil War.
And that's fine. You might have a different opinion on that altogether.
Is my favorite Captain America movie. I think it's 10 times better than Winter Soldier.
That's fine.
It had everything. My disappointment just comes from I think Marvel's stupid. I think they shouldn't have shown Spider-Man in the fucking credits.
And it's Spider-Man that we wanted with the eyes and shit too.
I love that Spider-Man's in it.
Right.
They
should have kept that.
I just think it would have the amount of talk that would have happened going out of this movie. Like you go into it not knowing Spider-Man's in it, and then all of a sudden you find out Spider-Man's in it, and that
was the whole point. Was
that's when you go and tell your friends. You don't even tell them Spider-Man's in it. You're like, yo, go watch the movie. Trust me. Go watch the movie. And then they go watch it, and, you build that legend of Spider-Man being in it instead of just being like, oh, Spider-Man's here.
Yeah. Because I think I saw it on YouTube, all the reactions when Civil War, when trailer 2 came out, they were like, Spider-Man's in the movie. Like, everybody's freaking out. I see, that's what you really wanted. You wanted that initial reaction when he says, hey, guys.
Right.
It comes out of nowhere.
And I also wish... The only way to pull that off, and it worked the way it would have, they would have had to have taken out the scene that had Tony Stark meeting with Peter. The very first time you see Spider-Man, or Peter for that matter, has to be the airport scene.
Okay.
Because nothing, you don't even know he's in it, you don't know what's going on, and then all of a sudden, you see a web come down, grab the shield.
Right.
And Spider-Man's holding it, and he's like, hey, guys.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, everybody loses their fucking mind. The crowd in the theater screams.
That would have been... And you still get that scream, but it would have been a lot better if you hit it, because then you would have got a standing ovation. Almost tears would have happened that day. Because we've been waiting for so fucking long, goddammit.
We didn't think it was ever going to happen.
No shit, man. No, we really didn't. Because remember, that's when them links were coming out, and... Sony and Disney and all that shit was happening. Then Andrew Garfield just gets tossed into the wayside, which is that sad because they were talking about in talks of them making Spider-Man 3. But then when the leaks came out, that's when they said, "Nope, gotta go, bye." Like, dang, that's one you really wanted to really see. It was Andrew Garfield because they had Sinister Six and all that happening, and
they were building up the Sinister Six,
right?
But yeah, we'll get to that whenever we.
Whenever we're at time.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this. It's another good movie. I don't personally think the MCU has a bad movie. I don't think the MCU has a bad show.
Right. You just have different opinions. Like the thing on She-Hulk said, people have different opinions on certain movies. Like, that's just how it is. Like, some people don't like Shang-Chi.
Right.
Which is fine.
And I think Shang-Chi's fucking amazing.
I thought it was amazing, actually. But some people don't like it.
Whatever you
That's how I
say. You guys can all suck. It's fine. Because
your
opinions can be shit.
Because you know when you read some shit, they like, I don't like Shang-Chi. You don't like. And I say I can't do it like that because everybody don't like Shang-Chi. Everybody don't like that. So I say, okay.
It's okay. People can have bad opinions. Anyways, I have peeled open my lip from biting it, so we're gonna end this here.
Damn, he done caused blood. Look at him.
No, we good. Tastes like iron. With that being said, join us next week as we talk about
Winter Soldier.
Let's
go. I'm gonna get Civil War next.
So with that being said, we love you guys. We'll see you next time.
He's pulling next time.
Excelsior.
No, he's gonna pull a TV show.
Excelsior.
Excelsior.
Bye.